we're back here now to another one of my loves, which are badges. Once upon a time, you'd go around the antique shops in Sydney or the fairs and you'd find badges everywhere. You'd pick up a Bradman badge for $20 or $30. Doesn't happen anymore. The theatre badges of Bradman, you can pay anywhere up to $700, $800, $200, $300, $400, nothing. I love them. They did sets of badges when you went. Either they were used in advertising for things like sauces and that, or when you went to the pitches, you collected them. These ones are 1938 Australian, and they're for pick-me-up products, which would be tomato sauce, hot sauce, pickles, everything like that. I don't know whether these were actually in them or attached to them, or you applied for them, but they're a lovely set, and they always seem to stay nice. So they obviously use good metal or good paint because they didn't rust.
And they don't fox either?
Didn't fox. These are 1928-29 from Griffith Sweets, who had a big warehouse in Sydney also, a big factory. And these have got little lapel-shaped things that you push through your coat lapel and turn them down. On the back, they might have Archie Jackson marshmallows or Archie Jackson cream caramel chocolates or Don Bradman orange tingles. I know because I got the 3 Bradman ones, there seems to be 3 different sorts of each type.
Oh, okay.
So these are all, you've got Jackson, Oldfield, Bradman, Woodfull. They're all the emerging guys, Richardson, Walker, Hornibrook, Herwood, Darling, McCabe. So that was those ones. This is Australia 1936-37. Painful for the English when Australia come back from 2-0 down to win 3-2. The bloke, there he is there, he was responsible for that. But
all about the rain though, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, and we got caught on wet wickets both times, and we got caught on a wet wicket then, and Bradman batted 6 or 7, and him and Fingleton won the game. So that's the Australians. And there's the English.
Wow. So were badges produced in England as well as Australia, do you know, or just
Australia?
No,
very, very rarely. These are produced, nearly all of these are produced by Patrick's of Summerhill. In 1913 they started, there was 5 brothers. They were involved. Then they went from just being in Sydney. They had a big thing in Adelaide and a big thing in Melbourne. I read somewhere Australians were very patriotic in them days, and we wore a badge for everything. Australia Day, going right back, they sold twice as many badges as there were people in Australia. So, the kids would get their father's hats, cut the brims off, turn them up, cover them in badges. Badges were massive, and you'd go to the pitches most of the time, and you'd see it in the advert, this week we're giving out Bradman and Fingleton, or next week McCabe. So you went to the pitches and collected the badges. So that was that one. $1930, that's Western Suburbs Cinema, that's a full set. I collected for years and years, and I was told that there wasn't a Wall or a Fairfax, and I got those 2 off, I think, a guy called Michael Fay. He said he had some badges, and that he had 3 or 4, and those 2 were in it. That's a full set of Western Suburbs Cinema, very hard to find.
Well
a Bradman in that would go for $300 to $400 himself. There's Clary Grimmett. I don't actually think Clary ever had hair.
He had it when he was about as a teenager. That's about it, I think.
There's Australia 1934, Captain Bill Woodfull. They were great things to collect. And as I said, Patrick's at Summerhill, I went over there years ago to see them. They've changed hands about 10 times. They had no idea they'd produced any of this stuff.
No,
all they had in there, all they had for everything they'd done was a half set of 1948 badges in their archives.
So what year? They obviously started early, 1930s or before?
Oh, before, about 1917.
Oh, okay, right. And they went through to the war, the main war, did they, or thereabouts?
They're still going, but they've changed hands about 4 or 5 times, and they're just all modern badges now.
Okay.
So there's that. Then 1938, Australians.
Missing Clary. Still missing Clary. No. Would have made a difference, wouldn't
Yeah. Just to confuse us, they did a 1938 Type 3. They're 1938, but they're different.
he? Yeah.
Different scrolls, different pictures. They did that for some reason. 1946, 47, or the 48 side. There it is there. This is very interesting because before that, they did all the hopefuls. This is a team, but they did the hopefuls, which were the smaller badges of everyone, which was a lot more. When they brought out the proper size ones, every picture was the same, but notice Don Bradman there. Then when you seen the team they brought out, he was the only one they changed in the whole lot. That's how big he was. So every other badge is identical to the 48s, except Bradman.
Good.
So that's that one. And then I think, for our English friends, there's their wonderful 28-29 side that come over here and beat Australia, but with every defeat, the Avenger turns up, and that was Don Bradman.
He didn't forget the lesson, did he?
No. And I think Hammond was wrong when he said he'll get runs in Australia, but not on our wickets. Down the bottom there's 4 beautiful badges. There's a Bradman goes with that. Cricket souvenir for Leonard and Johnson, Woodfull, O'Reilly, Chipperfield, McCabe and Bradman. I chased thinking I'm going to get the whole team of those, but only to find out they only produced 5.
Where's the Bradman one?
It's in my Bradman book.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely gorgeous badges.
Yep.
So that's it with the badges.
Well done. Thanks for the education on the badges too, Peter. I know everybody in the cricket world, the cricket collecting world, I really appreciate you taking time to show and tell. So,
well, thank you very, very much for putting up with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have, and he who dies with the most wins.